is threatened for this weekend with this No Kings demonstration being set for, 1,500 cities. It's giving a permission slip to burn, to throw bricks at cop cars, to attack federal buildings, state buildings, and anybody else that gets in the way. I think Donald Trump's reaction was proper in Los Angeles, but I think it could be a lot uglier around the country come Saturday. What are your concerns?
Well, one of the things, Steve, first of all, thank you for having me here this afternoon. I got to tell you, when we watched the things unfold in Los Angeles over last weekend and into this week, it's been fascinating to see, and are very grateful that President Trump stepped up to the plate as we would have expected he would, and said this is just not going to be tolerated. And he's doing exactly what we would hope he would do, and that is sending the National Guard in there to protect these federal ICE agents and federal buildings in the process. Too many of us remember looking back and watching Minneapolis burn as people just stepped back and watched it happen. And I think that the steps that have been taken are proper, and we're standing with the president. And I feel like that Los Angeles is recognizing that he's going to do what he said, and he means what he says.
Yeah, on ABC News, I saw them say, and I can't even believe I have to say this, they're just some people having fun watching cars burn. That was a quote from a reporter from ABC News on the network. Just a few people having fun burning cars, Mark. You know, no big deal. Well, what's wrong with that? Seriously.
Yeah.
What's wrong with these people?
Well, it was probably the worst thing of the whole situation we watched was when America got a chance to see what it looks like when you've got on one side of the screen the mayor and the governor, Gavin Newsom, saying we've got it all under control. We don't need any help here. This is all fine. And on the other side of the screen, you literally are watching 6, 8, 10, maybe a dozen police cars burn, and one of them exploded right there on the right side of the screen as I was watching. And then you watch people throwing scooters and everything over a bridge onto highway patrol cars from California. And listen, the people of California need to be thankful that President Trump recognizes as the president that he has a responsibility for law and order, and he has a responsibility to protect American citizens. And that's exactly what he set out to do.
You know, and that's just the beginning, and that's why I'm concerned about what happens on Saturday. Last night, New York City, a Molotov cocktail thrown over a fence with barbed wire, razor wire. I think 9 New York Police Department NYPD cars went up in flames behind a chain link fence with wire on top. Somebody threw a Molotov cocktail over. How many felonies we have to endure? I just saw that Senator Padilla, Alex Padilla of California, had to be taken out of a press conference with Kristi Noem because he became aggressive, yelling over Kristi Noem at this press conference. The Democrats don't seem to understand this is not selling with the American people. And how do I know? Well, CNN had a poll on just yesterday showing that in 2020, Congressman, those that came to this country legally, legal immigrants, supported Democrats by 32 points. As of yesterday, it's now +8 for the Republicans. That's a 40-point swing from legal immigrants in this country. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, then you're not paying attention. What do you say?
I say you're exactly right. In fact, I saw actually on CNN a clip of a Democrat strategist who was actually really just admonishing all of these Democratic leaders around the country, and particularly in California, when he said, you know, when we ought to be talking about the issues, talk about the rescission package, talk about reconciliation, find something, but instead Democrats are wanting to talk about immigration and are playing right in to what President Trump's sweet spot is, because he ran on this issue. He said he was going to secure the border. He said he was going to round up those illegal aliens that are criminals here in our country and send them back. And he's made good on those promises. He's still making good on those promises even today. And even this Democratic strategist was, again, admonishing the people that they're screwing up bad with their messaging here.
Yeah, you know, smashing and burning police cars, attacking women. I saw a clip of a woman just trying to get to work. She was mocked and laughed at by the people blocking the streets. She just wanted to go to work. This does not sell for mainstream America. It does not. You're right about that. All right, I need to switch gears a little bit to the rescission package. I know you've got to get out of here in the next 2 or 3 minutes so you can go over and cast your vote today. I think that Congressman Norman, your colleague, told me here just a short while ago that it will expose every person that is a Republican as to whether or not they are conservative or not. He says you should hold a vote like this every single week, did Ralph Norman. Do you agree with that?
I agree with it 100%. I went on the floor in debate, and I got 1 minute. There were a lot of people wanting to speak, and in my 1 minute, I made it clear that there's no way that we as Republicans have been running for years that we are fiscal conservatives, and we have in front of us a softball that is being pitched across the plate. And if we can't knock this out of the park, we've got bigger problems. It's $9.4 billion. To me, it is the greatest test if we really are committed to doing government differently, which is why we were elected in November of 24 to come up here. We were given the trifecta. It's time for us in Congress to step up and pass this rescission package. And I'm hoping in the next few minutes we're going to see it happen.
All right, real quickly then, Hakeem Jeffries on the other side of the aisle says that you guys are attacking Big Bird because you want to defund NPR and PBS. You're attacking Big Bird. My concern for the Democrats is this. What's more important, Big Bird or middle-class families in America? PBS and NPR can be on the same competitive playing field as this network and everybody else. They only get 10 or 15% from taxpayers. Why should they get anything? My network doesn't. Other networks don't. Why do they think that they're privileged and entitled to that? That's what I would ask, sir. I'll give you the last word.
Well, I think you're exactly right. They are not privileged. They don't deserve that. And let's face it, you look at their records, they are certainly leftist propaganda in so many cases. And the reality is the First Amendment says that, or does not say that we have to fund leftist propaganda on the American taxpayers' dime. Bottom line, it's only 1% of NPR's budget is that government money. I actually went on NPR and did an interview with them and stressed that. Now, of course, they didn't play that in the interview later, but that is a reality. It was only 1% of their budget. They can make that up, or they can cut costs just like every other family in America has had to cut costs in order to operate within a budget. So this is a time that the American people are living in. They sent us here again to do government differently, and that means that we've got to take difficult steps, but important steps that have to be done.
Congressman Mark Harris, North Carolina, greatly appreciate you being here. I know you've got to get out the door and over there to cast your vote. We'll keep an eye on it, sir. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.